Hey first grade, it's Mrs. Bigliotti. So I wanted to show you guys the next couple steps in our project. So you have your emu beak, eyes, and neck, and we are going to outline the face. And so we're just going to do the face. If you do the neck, that's okay. I'm not going to do it for now, and you're going to see why. I'm going to first start off by outlining my eyes, and you can either use a Sharpie marker or a black Crayola marker. You could even use a black crayon if you wanted to. It's totally up to you. Just something that's dark that's going to make those details pop. I myself am going to use a Sharpie. So I'm going to outline my eye, and I'm going really slow, and I'm going to outline that little oval in the eye as well. I'm going to outline and outline again. Okay, so now I'm going to do the beak. And I'm going to get my details. And I'm actually going to color in the eye. So I'm going to add two little ovals with my pencil as like reflections. So those will be like little white reflections inside the eye. So I'm just going to trace around those and then color in those sections with my marker so I get a nice dark outline around the eye. See, and it makes his eye look a little bit more kind of animated when you color in that pupil section of the eye. Okay, there we go. Now you want to erase the pencil lines in your face. You're going to keep the pencil line for the neck. So I'm just going to take a big eraser and erase all of my pencil lines because we don't need them anymore. You can also add lashes, guys. I have one that I did where I added lashes. So I added lashes. So I just added some lash lines. So if you wanted to add lashes to your emu, you could. Okay, so we're going to color this kind of in two parts or two sections. So we're going to start with the neck first. Now, you guys can make your emu any color that you want. You can make it purple, you can make it green, you could make it orange, you could make it any color that you want. I'm going to ask, though, that you guys pick, if you want to make your emu, let's say, orange, that you pick maybe 2 or 3 different kinds of orange. So it's not just one color. It is one color and it's orange, but maybe you pick dark orange and light orange. I myself am going to pick some crazy colors, I think. I think I'm going to go blues on my emu, blues and purples. So I'm going to take some blue and purple crayons and put them aside for myself so I have them all ready. Oh, my purple's way down in here. Purple. Let's get this light. This one's kind of cool. This one right here. And then maybe I'll get this blue. Okay, I think that's good for now. Maybe I'll include that one as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I know I want to use these colors. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn my art over and I'm just going to test my colors on the back. It's always a good thing to test your colors to see if you really like them, because you might like the wrappers, but then when you actually go to draw the color, it looks different. So I'm just testing each of my crayons to make sure I like it. And I like those together. I think they're good. I might change out this blue, though. Let's see what another blue. Not wild about my last blue. Don't love that one either. Again, this is just my opinion. Well, maybe I will go with my first blue. Maybe that's my best bet. Oh, I like this one. This one's different, I think. Okay, so I'm going to go with these. So I've got my colors. So I've got 3 purples, 3 blues. So I could do this 2 different ways, and I'm going to show you both ways. So we're going to start with the neck. And what we're going to do is, if you guys noticed the emu's feathers, they were very much almost like hair. They're very fine, kind of flowy feathers. So we're going to start drawing those little feathers in using our crayons. So I'm going to start with this. Let's see. I'll start with this kind. These are my purples. So I'm going to start where my 2 necklines start. And I'm just going to start to draw. All I'm doing is making straight lines. I'm going to go over my lines, make those a little longer so they match in. Straight lines. I'm not coloring back and forth. So every time I bring my crayon down, I pick it up. Then I'm going to go back in with this different purple to start adding in. So I'm just filling kind of the white spaces that are left over. Okay. And I'm just doing a small little section. Just filling those in. Now, I can either keep going with this kind of purple in here, or I can switch to blue. So your options are to keep going. So if I was to keep going, I'm just going to get another one so you guys can see. So we're going to look at that first step again. I'm just making my lines about a little less than an inch long. And notice I'm leaving some space. And I kind of have some of them like flaring out, kind of to get some movement, some crazy feather movement. So we're making just straight lines right now. Just on his neck. And then I'm just going back in and filling in with that purple. I can even take this light purple and fill in any of the white spaces. But you can see it's really purple. Okay. Then I would just go in and repeat that same process. I would just go in, make my lines. Notice I'm just making lines. I'm not coloring. So we're not coloring back and forth. We're making lines. It's a really important thing to remember because you get this cool texture when you make the lines that you don't really get with coloring. So even though we're filling in with color, we're not necessarily coloring. If that kind of makes sense. You're like, but Mrs. V, we are coloring, but we're just using straight lines instead of a more traditional coloring. Okay, and then I'll just go in and fill in with my, and your hand will get tired because this is like hard. This is a little workout here, and that's okay. That's why we're just starting with the neck, right? We're not going to do everything. So we're not touching any of this up here today because that is, that's like a lot. So we're just working on this. And notice this light purple crayon, really great for getting any little white bits that I miss. Kind of just filling in. But notice how cool that looks, right? We're starting to really build some feathers in there. It looks really cool. So we're just going to keep working, and I would just do the same steps again. Now, remember I said I'd show you something different. So at my purple, I'm going to fill in with my light purple just to get any of those little, and all I'm doing is just filling in any little white bits that I kind of have left over. All right. Now, if I wanted to change this up, I can go to my blues. So instead of keeping him or her purple, I can give her stripes. And you can do this with any colors that you want. Like if you wanted to do like a rainbow, maybe I'll do a rainbow for one of mine. You can totally do that. Make one stripe reds, oranges, yellows, whatever you wanted. It's totally up to you. This is your emu. But we want to make it colorful, right? So even if you decide to use just one, maybe particular color, maybe use different versions of that color. And a little trick, sometimes I do this, if I'm going to use 3 colors, I'll put all 3 in my hand and then with my opposite hand, and then when I use one, I put it down so I know I used it, and then I keep the one I need to use in my hand that I don't write with and the one I'm using in the hand that I write with. Just a little tip, because sometimes you forget and you're like, oh, no, I used that already. So you guys can see, like, I've got some cool feathers here, and then here's my last crayon. Just go in. Again, I'm just filling in any of the spaces that I missed. Now I would just go back in with the purple now. So I got all my purples, okay? And I'm just gonna keep filling in. And you guys would just keep working till you filled the whole neck up. And that's the only thing we're working on this week, is filling in the neck section. Again, you guys can pick any colors that you want. I notice I'm getting a little wider as I go down. I'm just making lines. I'm not coloring things in. Just to make it kind of cool. Okay. And then again, oh, I grabbed a purple in with my blues. I would just go in with my blue again. So notice I'm building my layers. So each time I go down, I build a layer. And that purple kind of made that a little too long, but that's okay, right? That's totally okay. They're all just making these crazy feathers. It's gonna work. So, boys and girls, all you are going to do this week is work on your neck. Use any colors that you want. If you don't want to use purples and blues, you want to use orange and red, or you want to use green and purple, or any colors that you want. Just remember, if you choose one color, remember to use 3 different versions of it. So something like this, how I use purple, but I use 3 different purples. I use a dark purple, medium purple, light purple, and then with my stripes here, I have dark blue, medium blue, and light blue. So you would just keep working till you reached the edge of your neck.